You're in mortgages and you're trying to figure out the right mortgage for your client. The two most common mortgages we have is a 15-year, which has typically the most aggressive interest rates on it, other than your ARMs, which we have a video on that we already did. If you haven't watched it, make sure you go back and watch it. Or the 30-year, I'd say, is the most common option. Now, a lot of times I hear originators asking clients,
well, would you like to do, 15-year, 30-year, 20-year, like they're working at the Good Burger?
Okay, you shouldn't be asking clients if they want to do a 15-year, 20-year, 30-year, 10-year. Why shouldn't I be asking clients that, Ace? The reason why is because there's more that goes into that question if you truly understand your profession and what you're doing. Meaning, you have to make sure that somebody is the right candidate for a 15-year or they're the right candidate for a 30-year. So how do you find those things out? Well, when I think about a 30-year mortgage, what am I thinking about? I'm thinking about somebody that needs liquidity. Somebody that needs breathing room. Somebody that is low in assets or reserves. Somebody that doesn't care about paying off their mortgage. A 30-year mortgage is for somebody that needs a 30-year mortgage. Maybe their debt to income is tight. That would only mean that a 15-year mortgage should be for somebody that has liquidity. It would be for somebody that doesn't need breathing room. It would be for somebody that has assets. It would be for somebody that cares about paying off their house faster. And it would be for somebody that DTI is good for. You see, when I'm talking to a client, I ask them questions like, how much do you have in assets? And if they tell me I have 50,000, 100,000, 150,000, 401ks, IRAs, annuities, stocks, bonds, then in my head I'm like, okay, this could be a 15-year candidate. Why? Because they have a good financial portfolio, meaning they could afford to go to a 15-year if that's their goal. If I'm talking to somebody that barely has a couple $1,000s in the bank and has kids, I'm automatically going to a 30-year, and even sometimes maybe even an ARM or interest only. But for sakes of this conversation, we're going to a 30-year. If I'm talking to somebody that really needs cash and savings, I'm going to a 30-year. If I'm talking to somebody that doesn't need cash and savings, they don't really care, they want interest savings, I'm going to a 15-year. If I'm talking to somebody that's very well qualified, I might be thinking about 15-year. If I'm talking to somebody that's a little tight, I'm thinking about a 30-year. So a lot of us out there are going back and forth asking the client what they want, when in reality, you should give the client what they need. If a client's financially savvy and they have good reserves and they have a good portfolio, and increasing their payment on a 15-year is not going to hurt them because they could afford it, they could still save, they could still budget, it's not going to affect their life by any means, you go to 15-year. If there's a client you're talking to that maybe can afford it, or maybe things are tight, they don't have a lot of reserves, you always go to the 30-year. Now, how do you say this to clients? You literally tell the clients, you put yourself in their shoes and you tell them, hey, I'm putting myself in your shoes. I know you wanted to do a 15-year, I know you want to do a 30-year. I'm going to go ahead and give you the 30-year with the lowest payment, and here's the reason why. Number one, I want to make sure you have good reserves. It's a crazy world we're living in. You got to have at least a 6-month cushion. Number two, right now, you have 3 kids, college is coming up, there's a lot of expenses coming. I want to make sure you have liquidity and you could save some money. Number 3, like I told you before, you're not staying in this house forever. We're not paying it off tomorrow. There's no rush goals to pay this off. Let's just keep it in a 30-year. If you want to overpay on it in the future and things are looking better, go for it, right? Or vice versa, if you're talking to somebody that's wants a 30-year, but they have so much money and 30-year doesn't really do much for them, be like, look, I know you wanted to save some money monthly. You got good money in the bank. You got good 401k. You got a good paying job. Why don't you go down to a 15-year and I could show you how to shred $100,000 of interest and keep your payment, $400 or $500 within reach in a lot of cases. And that way you could pay off this house aggressively. And then by the time you retire, this house is paid off and you can start having a different conversation with those kind of people. So I think we shouldn't be asking clients 15 or 30 year. Ultimately, we should be giving them what they need and what you would give your sister, brother, mom, dad, or yourself. Put yourself in client's shoes. As a professional mortgage originator, this is one thing that'll separate you from the rest. One small tip I wanted to go over, if there's anything you take from this video, it's stop asking people what they want like you're in the Good Burger, and start telling people what they need after you discover through the conversation exactly what they need. That's one little thing. This thing has thousands of things inside. Mastering the Mortgage World collection. We got lenders, guidelines, lead buys, realtors, social media, networking, events, referrals, call scripts. There's drips. There's sales scripts. There's training modules. There's videos. There's a planner, playbook, blueprint, all at your fingertips with weekly live coaching. Make sure you join it. If you're in the industry and you do join it, you'll have an opportunity guaranteed to join us at Takers Brokerage. And if you're in sales or leadership, we also have sales and leadership masterclasses for you as well. Like, subscribe, and share this video with anybody you love. And next time you talk to a client, make sure you tell them what they need.